Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I posted a video not too long ago kind of introducing you to HoneyBook, which is my new CRM tool, and sharing kind of why I chose to use it and some of the key benefits or features of HoneyBook. But today I thought I would go a little bit further and go into exactly what features I'd recommend setting up specifically for a social media manager. So I'm using a sort of mock test account for this social media management workflow just because my own HoneyBook account I primarily use for my coaching business. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that as well. I'm happy to do a second video just about my coaching workflows. But for now, we will get into the social media management workflows in HoneyBook. And of course, if you want to try out HoneyBook, definitely check out the description box. I still have that $1 per month for the first 8 months deal going on. So if you click the link and sign up through my link, you'll be able to try out HoneyBook for 8 months for $8, which is just such a crazy deal. So definitely check that out. So anyway, let's hop in. Once you go ahead and set up all of your company info, connect your bank info, all of that good stuff, the first thing that I'd recommend setting up is your contact forms and your scheduling forms. So you'll do that by going into tools. Let's show scheduling first. So basically by setting these up, you're allowing people to get into your HoneyBook funnel or tool essentially. A lot of us do discovery calls, so this is a great thing to use. You just click on create my first session. You would call it a discovery session, choose your time zone, choose the duration of the session. And then I really like this field here, when can it be scheduled? Because I personally only allow meetings to be scheduled on a rolling window, meaning that people can only schedule meetings so far out. I don't want somebody to be able to choose a discovery session that's 6 months away, a year away, because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have forgotten about me or moved on to somebody else. And also, I just don't know what my life is gonna be like in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you know what I mean? So I usually do, I think mine is set to 1 month, I wanna say. It might even be 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I'll do 1 month for the purpose of this training. And then you can add some instructions in here too. So you can say, looking forward to meeting you, kind of explain what they need to come prepared with on a discovery call, give them a little brief of what you're gonna talk about, whatever it is that you wanna do, and then choose the invite reminders, which I love about this tool because both myself and the prospect, if you want, and I do, I choose also send to me, and they get an email ahead of the meeting, which is a good reminder and just really helps cut down on no-shows. I think I like to do 1 hour, I think is what I have it. Then you'll go over to your availability. So this is where you will fill in your calendar and you'll choose what days and times you're available for these meetings. And of course, you can have different availability for different meetings. I certainly do. So like for my client calls, I have one calendar that's way more open. And then for my discovery calls, I really only take those a couple days a week. So like Monday, I don't like to work or do meetings on Mondays. So I'll remove availabilities on those days and I'll just keep Tuesdays and Thursdays for the sake of this. And then I also like these settings here, buffers, minimum notice, and custom increments. Basically, I always put a buffer on for about 15 minutes just so I don't have back-to-back meetings. Minimum notice, so I do keep this as well. I think mine is set to 3 or 4 days, meaning that people can't book a meeting for tomorrow, which I think is just fair for everybody involved. If I don't have a meeting on my calendar tomorrow, I'm gonna make a plan to run an errand or something. So that's really helpful. And then custom increments. This is how the meeting will appear on the scheduling form, and you'll see that in a second. So I leave that as default. You confirm, you choose what your confirmation page is gonna say. So again, this is great because you could do this as complex as you wanted. If you wanted to link out to some PDF or intake form or booking link or something like that, you could totally do that. I think I just keep it pretty standard. Thanks for scheduling, here's the details, send confirmation email, and then you can choose if you want to allow rescheduling and cancellations. I generally do allow cancellations, but not rescheduling, just because I feel like leaving that option open encourages people to use it, is what I've found. Save and finish. Oh, session type. Oh yeah, sorry, this is at the top, at the beginning. You got to choose if this is going to be a phone call, an in-person meeting, video, or other. So mine would be video, and then you can choose Zoom, and then, okay, I can't do it because this is my test account, like I said, but basically you can sign in with your Zoom account, link your Zoom, and it will generate a link for you. It is fire. Save and finish. And there we go. Then if we copy this link, this is the link that you can send out when people come in, inquire on your website, when they send you emails, when you are doing cold emails, whatever you need to do, you can send this link out and just look at how much more professional this looks than going back and forth and saying, what are you doing Tuesday at 5? Okay, are you free? Like it's so annoying. I've been there so many times. They can just self-select times. They go through this process and they're good to go. They get the calendar invite and all of that. So I love that. Now, another one that I recommend setting up is forms. So if you go into tools, lead capture, contact form, this is another great thing. I'm just gonna leave it pretty default. I don't wanna take up the whole time sharing a form. I'm sure you guys know how to create a form, but it's pretty similar to, I'm sure, what you have on your website already. So you're gonna ask their name, their email, their phone number, project date, isn't really as relevant for a social media manager, nor is address. What type of project are you looking for? So you can choose different drop-down items. You can customize this if you want to say social media management, social media strategy, social media engagement, content creation, whatever it is, ads. I always like to keep the how did I hear about us because it shows up in your reporting, which is super valuable when you're planning for the future, so you can know what types of marketing to continue investing in. And then you can have like a little text field. And basically, I'll just show you the preview. Of course, this one isn't super customized, but this is what it's gonna look like. And you can either link to this or you can actually embed it into your website, which is just awesome. But basically, when people come in through this form, they will automatically get put into HoneyBook, and then you can choose to do different automations and workflows and things like that. So if somebody sends you an inquiry, you can set up a workflow to automatically send them a brochure or an email saying, hey, I'm gonna get back to you. Hey, schedule a discovery call, whatever you wanna do. Or you can just leave it in your HoneyBook account for you to manually respond to. It's fantastic. Okay, so the next thing, number 2, that I'd recommend setting up right away is your contracts. That's super important. So go to tools, go to templates, and then there are already some contracts. If you click on that contracts button on the left side, there's already some general contracts loaded into HoneyBook for you. I know I get a lot of questions about contracts, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? So I don't recommend taking contract advice from like random people on the internet who don't specialize in this stuff. So I do recommend using a tool like this or buying a template or working with a lawyer to generate your own contract. And what you can do then is you can load that lawyer, attorney drafted contract into here, or you can use a template like this, click on it, and just customize it to your business. A lot of HoneyBook stuff is usually pretty focused around photography and like the wedding industry. So you'll want to tweak it a little bit, read through this. There's definitely probably going to be things in here that are not super relevant to you, so you can delete those things. All of these, let's see, these little guys with the stars, those are form fields. So you can also add new form fields by highlighting it and choosing the field options here, and basically making that something that your client can customize when they get the contract. So this is something I definitely recommend going through and setting up and catering to your needs. Number 3, packages. This is huge. So if you go over to tools, templates, and then packages, again, there are some pre-populated ones in HoneyBook that you can go through and adjust and tweak to your needs. But I created this gold social media management package. So we'll click on this, and basically what you'll do is you'll name your package. You can do a little description of the package here, the price of the package, and then you can break down which different services are included in the package as well. And you can assign individual prices to each of those, tasks or sub package, package items, whatever you want to call it, or you don't have to. You can just give a total package price as well. So for this example, I'm just showing a gold social media package has, daily posts on Instagram, daily posts on Facebook, community management, and 10 original pieces of content per month. So that's just a sample there. You could tweak that however you wanted to. And then I also would recommend clicking on this little photo icon, and you can upload photos. Which I do recommend doing. I didn't do for this example, but just having some fun little, you could choose like a phone picture, or if it were content that you've actually created. And the reason that adding them into HoneyBook is such a phenomenal idea is because Think of all the times, I don't know about you, maybe I was old school, but I would literally have a note in my computer and in my phone that I would just copy and paste when someone would ask me what came in my packages. And it was like very tedious, very annoying. It just made me have to like reinvent the wheel every time. So now what you can do is you can just send out these packages really easily to people through what's called a brochure. So you can actually create a new brochure, and you basically get to make like a little magazine or like a mini proposal in itself. So I don't know, maybe you want text here first, and then you want to add a block that has some images. Again, we're gonna like choose these images. Then you can click on services, and that's where you can add in your package here. So you basically make this little fancy PDF brochure that you can just send out to people, as opposed to, like I said, having to just send out that copy and paste document. Fourth thing I recommend getting set up right away is your invoices. Your invoices. Click on Invoices in the Templates tab, and you can create a new invoice. They also have a template for you. I think I created one, Latasha's invoice template. So here we go. I just have my different packages loaded into the invoice. Obviously not all clients would buy the same packages. So once you actually go ahead and use these, then you would tweak it according to what the client actually signed up for. So you can easily just remove one of these things. And then down here, what I love about this, well, first of all, up here you can add discounts, so that's always good. Sometimes maybe you'll give a loyalty discount if it's an existing client, or a referral credit or something like that. So that's always good. And then you can also break up the payments by schedule, which I love. So my standard, what I usually do, it does depend on the package, of course, but if it's like monthly social media management, they're gonna be paying at the beginning of the month for the following month. So it would just be one payment monthly. But let's just say this was like a web design package or a content creation package or something like that. Usually what I'll then do is I will do one payment on signing, on contract signing date, and then one payment midway through the project. And how you adjust that is we'll just click on these little trash cans here, and this will make it, one big payment when they sign. If you add another payment, then you can just click on these and choose midway. You can choose upon receipt. You can choose project date, milestone, whatever you want to do. So I love that. And you can break it up into as many payments as you want to. Next thing that you'd probably want to fill in here is a questionnaire. So if you click on questionnaire, again, there are some templates in here created by HoneyBook. So definitely recommend clicking through those. Like this one is a new client questionnaire, which I actually haven't looked at, and this is actually pretty awesome. I should probably use some of this, but basically, it's asking your full name, where to reach them, how they prefer to chat, what services they're interested in, blah, blah, blah. So I have in my social media management toolbox, if you've purchased that, I have a sample of my questionnaire questions. So if you took that, you could easily just create your own questions based off of that and just copy and paste those questions into here to create your own questionnaire. But of course, it's going to be different based on the service that you're offering. If you're a social media manager, you're going to want to know their social handles, the person in charge of managing social or their main point of contact, their hex codes and brand guides, you would probably want to know that, target audience, ad spend that they're spending, all of those different questions. So you can just easily create a form here. The last thing in the templates section that I would recommend setting up right away is email templates. So this is kind of where it can get a little overwhelming, but what I recommend doing, I love whiteboarding. I love doing whiteboarding to brainstorm and to break down some of my processes. And I want you to write out, even looking through your old emails with previous clients, what different touch points do I have with this, regularly? Do I repeat often with multiple clients, basically? So if you go over to emails, you can even copy and paste from your old emails, those standard emails that you send out so many times, and templatize them so that way when you have to go and send them out, all you're doing is changing, a couple of things here and there to customize it. So for example, you might do inquiry and brochure. Here's one that HoneyBook already has loaded in. So this is an email that you would send out if somebody sent through a contact form on your website, and you would say, hey, thanks so much for reaching out, blah, blah, blah. Here is my template or my brochure, which is what I showed you earlier, and you can link that in here. Brochure, here's the default, thanks for your interest, here's a list of the packages that I offer. So go through, like I said, and see what exactly your workflow is. For me, it's usually, hey, thanks for reaching out. Schedule a discovery call. I pretty much do a discovery call with all of my new clients. Even if they feel like they know what they need right away, I usually do a discovery call just to kind of get on the same page about things. And then it's a follow-up after the discovery call with the proposal or with the brochure, basically is what that would be. Or it could be a PDF proposal if you prefer to do that as well. And then it would be some type of like, here's the invoice, here's the contract. You know, go through all of those different steps and build out an email for each of those. So then when you're having to repeat that step over and over again, it's not, you know, it's done. It's like clockwork. It's done for you. So last thing I want to talk about is workflows. This is where it all kind of comes together. Now, I will say you can use these things without having it as a part of a workflow, but the magic really does happen in the workflow. So if you go up here to tools and then workflows, you'll see I have some test ones set up already, but let's set one up together. So we'll click on create workflow. And then we'll start building it out based on these different like triggers essentially. So you can create tasks for yourself that are just kind of internal. So you can say, okay, when a client sends out a questionnaire, I need to send out their welcome kit. So that's something that I have for myself because I send out physical welcome kits. So I need to remember to do that when they submit their questionnaire, which asks for their mailing address, things like that. You can also choose to send a questionnaire when something happens, send an email or send a brochure. So let's just click on send brochure for the sake of this. So we'll choose the action is send brochure. We'll do the untitled fake one that I just made. And then basically what you'll want to do is you will send that brochure along with an email template that you have. So you kind of marry those things that you've created together. So brochure default, again, this is why it's so important to have these things customized, but basically there's that. And then you can choose to send it automatically, or if you want to approve it before sending. I personally am like always, I don't know, I get really anxious about that. So I always choose approve before sending just so I can make sure. And like sometimes it might be somebody that I've already talked to in real life or whatever. So it might be redundant or weird to send them something. So I like to choose approve before sending. And then you can just click on save. And then that way, whenever somebody comes in through that contact form, it will automatically send them that brochure once they enter that workflow. And you can even choose if it's a little weird, sometimes it can feel very unnatural to send out that brochure like the second they submit. So maybe you want to choose like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever, after they've done it, just so it feels a little bit more authentic. You could do questionnaires. So this is a really good one because I like to set up a questionnaire right after a contract is signed. So I think I can actually, I'll do after invoices paid in full. So you can send that questionnaire through to really start to get the ball rolling for your client right away without any lag time. And then you can also add different things. So your workflows can be as long as you need them to be. So you could choose send an email after previous step is complete. So after they submit that questionnaire, you can send them an email saying, thank you so much, here's the next steps, or receive your questionnaire, I'll be in touch in a couple days if I have any questions. So again, you can build this out as long as you need to, and it just seriously saves so much time. You don't have to think about sending out emails and finding documents, and you know, it's just all kind of packaged together really neat and tidy for you. All right, so I hope that this little HoneyBook walkthrough was helpful. I think it is a fantastic tool for social media managers, but not just for social media managers. Like I said, I primarily use it for my coaching business, so it's great for that, great for photographers, graphic designers, really any type of service providers. For the most part, I highly recommend it. It's honestly changed the game for me. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, leave me a thumbs up if you don't mind and comment down below. And of course, if you want to try out HoneyBook for just $1 a month for the first 8 months, this link should be good until the end of January. And then after that, I still think I have a pretty good coupon for you. But this is one that you don't want to miss. So definitely click on the link down below to try it out. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.